Now, we're currently in school holidays, as I'm sure you've noticed, but as the days get warmer, it's certainly been a warm one in Sydney this weekend, many of you, I'm sure, are digging in the back of the closet. You're trying to find those summer uniforms that were put away about 6 months ago. Now, there's no real consistent uniform policy, I should say, across the country. Everywhere seems to have different rules, state by state, school by school. But the Chief Executive of Gender Equity Victoria, Micaela Drieberg, she's penned a column for the News Corp papers calling for school uniforms to be updated to allow unisex options and freedom of expression for kids on skirt length, hair, rules and jewellery. She writes, I recently attended a tour at a school and a young tour guide shared that all students can wear pants and shorts. The same school also allows boys to have long hair and wear plain jewellery. Both have been a motivating factor for students attending the school. These seemingly small measures are valued forms of self-expression for children and part of their identity. Yes, we're going to lift the academic results, Joe, by letting the boys have long hair. I suspect most parents would be quite happy to see schools have stricter uniform policies rather than laxer ones.
Yeah, well, certainly in high schools, underperforming high schools, one of the first things, this is in state schools, one of the first things a new reforming principal will do is uphold and enforce the school uniform policy and insist that kids wear the correct uniform and take pride in their school. And that actually does have an impact, or it has an absolute impact on academic performance, because it means kids are proud of the school they go to. And frankly, you know, before this principal might have come along, and I've been out to these schools, this is basically my journalistic hobby these days, has had an absolute transformative impacts. But you don't get a high-achieving, high-academically performing school where the kids are rocking up in tracky days.
Well, it teaches them discipline.
Well, it is.
Exactly.
But, you know, I also when I was in primary school back in the dark ages, there was actually always an option of pants for the girls in a winter uniform. It's not earth-shatteringly new information or something that's just been thought of. But also, especially for girls in primary school, they like to play like the boys do and hang upside down on the monkey bars and all those sorts of things. And it's, you know, there used to be some bloomers that you could wear under your school uniform. So that, well, I was in WA at Adelaide at the time. You know, I'm not sure they called them those here. They were called scungies or something in Sydney. Yeah, I don't know. They were. Anyway, but they were. So they sort of went over your knickers so that, you know, if you were hanging upside down on the monkey bars or whatever. But look, I don't think it's earth-shattering for girls, particularly in primary school, to allow them to have a shorts part of their uniform or whatever. Who cares? But strict school uniform is important, I think, for discipline, for school pride. You know, I know when I used to leave school and when I send my daughter or whatever, you've got to have your blazer on, wear your hat. Skirt length, seriously, if you let these girls do it themselves, and, you know, they don't always dress appropriate.
Well, indeed. And you know what? It teaches you that you're part of something bigger and that you're not the centre of the universe. And for teenagers in particular, I think that's an important message.